Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes,
facts, boots,
and other stuff.
Is that the which game show?
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, there we go. Mm-hmm. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so you remember what Wheel of Fortune used to be like?
Like how far back we talking about?
Like beginnings.
No, I'm more into like where it was in the night. Like it's a lot. I watched it the other night, and it's obviously it's the same in like guessing puzzles, but like the way they do the setup is a lot different.
Yeah, it used to be that you won prizes that were already on the side. Like instead of them giving you money, they would show you the vast array of prizes over to the side of the stage.
Okay, see, I don't remember that part.
And then you could take the remainder on a service merchandise gift certificate.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. They would always say, I'll take the rest on a service merchandise gift certificate, Pat.
That sounds like the weakest.
It was crazy because it was like, I don't know if you remember service merchandise, but service merchandise was
I remember Montgomery Ward's. Is that any?
It's close, but service merchandise had all their stuff set out. And then you had to fill out a little tablet to say, I want this and this and this. You'd have to put down the number of the thing and what slot it's in or whatever. And then you go up and you pay for your stuff, and then a conveyor belt brings your things out. You just wait by a conveyor belt until all your stuff comes out.
That's kind of cool and unnecessary at the same time.
It was, yeah. But as a kid, you're like, holy shit, I get to fill out this. So we went to two different places. We would go to service merchandise, fill out our pad, and get our goods. And then we would go to Height Miller's and fill out our pads to get our steaks. You know, it was the same kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. That's funny. Wait, so where was service merchandise?
Service merchandise was in Richland Mall to begin with.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, where the men's Dillard's is now.
Okay.
That's where it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Montgomery Ward's was over where Target is now,
Montgomery Ward,
right?
yeah, was Lake Air Mall, not Richland Mall. Yeah.
I remember some of the weirdest like memories you have, like obviously during Christmas. Yeah. You know, they had the glass up front. Yeah. And so they always decorate that like Rudolph was.
Yeah.
I had
like a big, like it was almost like a terrarium entrance kind of thing.
Yeah. But the snow and and I remember I had a book of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that was from Montgomery Ward's.
Sure.
And then also a pillow.
Because like on the book, Rudolph's wearing like a Montgomery Ward's vest or something. Yeah.
But on the pillow, and then I had a pillow that you open and it was kind of like a storybook pillow that you could sleep with.
I know what you're talking about. Sure.
But the one thing I remember is we're going through, my mother's obviously looking for something. And I passed a like clearance bin at the time. What was clearance bin? Of video games.
Right.
And it's all like regular Nintendo, cartridges and stuff. And I remember seeing like, the Steel Cage, 1991 Steel Cage Challenge and, Paperboy 2, I think,
Yeah, Paperboy 2, because you can't improve on that first one.
No.
So I remember walking into Montgomery Ward's. It had the big terrarium entrance. It's all I know to call it. Because it had a big thing full of fake plants, a couple of benches and stuff like that. First thing I remember in Montgomery Ward's, they were the first ones in any mall or any place around here, as far as I know, to have a video game. And so they had Pong and they had Space Invaders right next to each other. Actual stand-up video games.
Yeah.
And then you would walk up the little ramp that was in the terrarium, and you could take a right and go to Electric Avenue, where all of their appliances and stuff was. Yeah, and if you went the other way, you were all of a sudden in the furniture section.
Yeah, I never went that way.
Sucked. The only thing in the furniture section that was cool is you could sit in the chairs, and you could look through the laser discs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
laser disc.
Laser disc. I've
watch
never
a
seen
movie.
one of those.
Watch a movie, then halfway through, flip it over
and watch the rest of the movie. But it'll be cool. Man. All those places. Just thinking about.
Oh, Lake Air Mall was
Piccadilly over there too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lake Air Mall was a bevy of weirdness because you had Montgomery Ward, you had Piccadilly, you had that weird thing that looked like a castle cage or something over there that was a bookstore, right? As you come out of Montgomery Ward's. And then right across from that, you had Pepper's, which was the music store. Okay. Which ultimately became Sound Warehouse over on Valley Mills.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So at least know that. All right, there you go. And that was this week's episode.
Enjoy, guys. Welcome to 2022.
Where in Waco.
That's right.
I feel like our conversations, we could break each one up in just like a small pod.
Yeah. Let's just do a Waco Remembers podcast.
All right, I'll get into this.
People would probably love that.
Oh, they would.
To be honest with you, we just talk about shit that used to be here.
I love to think about that we would go eat at Grandy's and then go next door to Blockbuster and then go home.
Grandy's and Blockbuster. Like, that was
that Gumtree and the Valley Mills one.
Yeah.
See, I'm old too.
Yeah, that Gumtree was something else. Yeah, that was a happening corner right there.
It was.
Yeah, Grandy's.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes.
We just got here.
We have not been talking for 20 plus minutes before.
That's right.
I am Zach, joined by let's go Rogues Gallery for once. And we'll just say joined by the Green Goblin.
Okay.
To my Doc Ock.
Okay.
Mr. Mike. And the reason I went there is because we have something that we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert already at the very beginning. I don't care that, if
it's broken all kinds of records as far as box office goes. So if you hadn't seen it, screw you.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. If you're part of it that I don't understand, and I'm not just sitting here like attacking one individual, but a group of them, is when you're like, spoilers. Don't listen to something that you think would have spoilers in it then.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is on you.
Right.
But I've told you right now, spoilers. We are going to talk about Spider-Man eventually in here.
Spider-Man Can't Get Home. Or what's it called?
Yeah, Spider-Man, I left my keys at home. No.
Spider-Man, it's
Spider-Man Far From Home?
Far From Home?
Oh, no, Far From Home was the second one.
Far From Home was the second one. This is
No Way Home.
This is No Way Home. That's right. That's right.
And the first one was Homecoming.
Home.
Which, by the way, I watched something the other night, and credit to MCU in a sense. I don't think they're ever going to dive into this more, but it's little things you notice. So in the MCU, obviously, everybody knows that the Asgardians are real. So then you would think,
which blows my mind.
But you would have to think that as a general public, when it comes in terms of religion, finding out that people,
you would think so,
gods
right?
that live in the sky,
that gods are real.
So there is a scene though where Aunt May and Peter are eating at a restaurant, and it shows the outside of the thing. Yeah, and if you look to the right, it says the Korean Church of Asgard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
So just little things like that the MCU does.
Now I'm going to get in front of this. I do not like Aunt May being so young.
I don't mind one bit.
I think, that's different.
That's just because I have a crush on Marissa Tomei and always have.
But the thing is, in the comic book, she never was.
No, that's true.
Right?
That's very true.
And where's Uncle Ben?
Yeah, that is true too.
In this iteration, there is no Uncle Ben.
There isn't.
Which is weird.
Well, I liked it because that means we didn't have to see another Uncle Ben.
That's true. I don't want to see how a superhero becomes a superhero more than once.
Yeah, because we saw Martin Sheen die.
What I'm scared with Batman.
See, I'm not. I think this happens. And we'll get into that too.
I hope so.
Because this, I haven't explained it too much. This episode, we talked about it a little bit the last episode we did, but we wanted to kind of do 2021 in review in a sense. And Mike and I are just going to discuss the superhero properties that we took in the form of either TV or film.
So this is, I'm going to dedicate this to my wife because she loves all the Marvel movies. She loves all the stuff, right? She loves Star Wars. She's the perfect woman because she loves sports. She loves Star Wars. She loves Marvel. She likes Harry Potter, all of that stuff, right? She's super fan on those kind of things. Has them running all the time. She's just like not doing anything. She's playing a game on Facebook and got one of those movies.
Yesterday, well, I say that this comes out on Monday, but the first is my wife's birthday.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, and she doesn't like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So she's not as cool as your wife, I guess.
Well,
I kid, guys. First of all, I need to know that was a joke.
Here's what I'm saying. She loves all that stuff, but she's never read comics. She's not that person. So you see what I'm saying? This is why I dedicate it.
I get it. This is for the people.
Yes.
I know some people like that too.
These are folks that their only exposure to Marvel or DC is the movies.
Yeah, this is who this is for. I work with some people who are like that too.
Yeah.
And we'll get, I think that's the best people then, like you said. So we'll dedicate this to Mike's wife and those people.
Also, she has it on The Office all the time now, which just
I'm so over The
best.
Office.
I'm not. I don't know that I ever will be.
It's not. I'm not saying this is not a good show.
No, I get it.
At this point, it's just too. I've seen it so many times. It's just too awkward for me at this point.
Yeah.
If I have to ever see the Scott's Tots episode again, I might just die inside.
I would probably watch that like 5 times in a row. I love it. I love the cringe.
So I say about my wife, we watched the 20th anniversary Harry Potter thing.
Oh yeah, how was
Saturday?
that?
It was good. I mean, it was just cool. It's all behind the scenes stuff.
I'm not a Harry Potter person.
I'm not as much as
I've never seen any of the movies.
Or the rest of her family is, but I still enjoy them.
I've never seen any of the movies all the way through.
Really?
The only parts I've seen are because of her. That's it.
I mean, they're solid movies.
Now, I did go with her to the theater to see Fantastic Beasts, that first one. Mm-hmm. But that's it. That's the only theater Harry Potter-ish experience I've had.
So my biggest thing about Fantastic Beasts was I hated the fact that they made Colin Farrell change into Johnny Depp. Yeah. Just leave it Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
I prefer him more as a bad guy. But we'll get into that when we look forward to 2022 at the end of this episode.
Amber Heard did you a solid there.
Yeah, a little bit. But well,
I get it. Sure.
It's both of them in that sense.
But
let's talk about.
Hey, by the way, Johnny Depp, you brought him up. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm going to go off on one more thing.
We're never going to get to anything, and I don't mind one bit.
Have you seen that commercial where he's playing the guitar with wolves in the desert? Johnny Depp.
Is it the cologne one? Yeah,
it's like everybody has to be alone at some time. Smell them or whatever it's called.
Smell them. I can't believe that they be smell them by Gucci. Yeah, smell them by Gucci.
Yeah, that one, and then
all of those are weird though.
That one, and then the one where Mysterio is on the boat out in the sea.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah,
I haven't seen
that.
He's
out
one.
in the sea, and he's really working this boat, and then they go, "Stink 'em" by Menon or whatever.
By Menon. By Menon.
By Menon.
I still remember that stupid tagline.
My dad used to wear high karate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love that high karate.
It was so funny. It was so funny. This is the only time I can bring it up, but at my grandpa's funeral, he always wore Brute.
Yeah, there you go.
So I wore Brute to the funeral.
Sure.
But it was just funny. We were talking then about other family members, and it's like, oh, this guy always wore, Javon Musk for men.
Yeah.
And like you get those scents, and you start to, but it's just so weird of how, they're not like, oh yeah, that's one of the,
It's those scents you could buy at Eckerd's. Yeah. Whatever you could buy at Eckerd's. That's what they had. Exactly. Yeah.
Eckerd's used to be like a CVS for those of you who aren't. Yeah.
Eckerd's.
Oh man.
I remember when they had the Atari 2600 cartridges, they had them behind the counter at Eckerd's. You had to literally go, I'll take that one and a pack of smokes or whatever.
Well, see, I remember at Sears, they had the PS1 games still all locked up.
Oh, sure.
And I remember that I bought NCAA football 2001 with birthday money that I had.
Yeah.
And it was $60.
Oh, yeah.
That PlayStation 1 game was $60.
Yeah.
And it is not. I can get it now on eBay for $2, and that's probably what I should have paid at the time. But
so when the original Nintendo Family System or whatever it's called came out, the NES came out. This is why I think Target is not as big as they should be at this point these days. Target had this. They had this policy that if you brought something back and it was wrapped, they would just give you your money back or you could trade it for something else. So I would go and buy the NES games, and then I worked at a video store at the time, so I'd go and shrink wrap it back and then take it back to Target and exchange it for something else. I think I bought one game.
Oh, and you just played through all the other games?
I would just play through it, and take it back.
That's funny.
That policy changed.
Yeah, I assume. Though at Walmart, you can apparently just take back even if you didn't buy it from the store.
Oh, God.
But
Walmart. You ever walk past one of those baskets full of returns?
Dude, I talked to a guy who worked at the Giant Return Center.
Yeah.
And like people were returning lawnmowers.
Oh, well, yeah,
after they
sure.
used them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You walk past one of those baskets, it'll be like one shoe, a half cup full of those chicken nuggets, underwear.
And
It's
I just don't.
ugh.
And I just don't get that people just think that at any time well, either way.
Oh, man. Come on. That's people.
All right. So,
All right,
people are
Spider-Man.
people. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into Spider-Man first.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've seen the movie.
Yeah, me too.
You've seen the movie. I think it's safe to say we both enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Went to Cinemark to see it.
That's where I went to see it.
The new theater.
Which I love the way the seats are set up.
Did not pay for the D-Box.
Oh, you didn't go D-Box?
Which I don't like the name. My wife goes, "Why don't you like the name?" I said, "Come on." And she goes, "Oh, come on." It took her a second to catch up, but
because it makes you think of a box of D's.
yeah, I don't want to sit in a box of D's.
D batteries are the worst.
They are. Yeah.
And there's no room. Yeah, that's why you don't want to sit in a D box. There's just no room.
D box, bulky batteries.
They poke you in the back.
Non-ribbed for her pleasure.
So no D box, but you went and saw it.
Yeah, it's great.
I thought it was so good. My favorite part, obviously, was the conversations between the villains.
Sure,
I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
And also, obviously, when the other Spider-Men come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just the conversations between all of them.
In what's his friend's name? In his house, basically, all of them showed up.
Yeah. Is it Jacob?
No, it's like Chuck or something.
It's his real name might be Jacob then. I'll look that up.
Yeah. But they all came in through portals that he opened in like his grandma's house or whatever.
That was cool because
fantastic.
they stole
Yeah.
See, I told you I thought that Doctor Strange would be out of part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the way they did it, which makes sense. Somehow.
Yeah. I'm not
Ned is the name
there we
of
go.
his.
I'm not 100% keen on Doc Ock basically becoming a good guy for a little bit.
Well, but
But I get it.
In Sam Raimi's movie, he kind of was to begin with.
Yeah.
And then the machine kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the machine took over. Sure. Yeah, I get it.
There is a nice little throwback if you like warm, fuzzy stuff that I noticed in the movie, that back in Spider-Man 2, there's a scene where, he's getting just kind of lectured by Doc Ock as Peter, that Tobey Maguire is.
Right.
And he tells him that, Dr. Connors told me you were a great student. I just don't see it. And he tells him, I'm just trying to get better.
Right.
To where you fast forward to where he finally sees him again and goes, you've grown up so much. And he just tells him, I'm trying to get better.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Which was kind of a cool little.
Is cool.
Yeah. There are moments between all of them that I thought were great. Some of it that was hilarious. The fact that Andrew Garfield popped Tobey Maguire's back, just like all of us try to pop each other's back, was hilarious.
I just like the fact that Garfield was kind of an outsider to the other two.
And
he was like, oh, I'm here too. That kind of thing.
He played it so well.
That was great. Yeah.
I hate to tell people this, but watching it made me realize how much I loved Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
Really?
I know a lot of people don't, but I've always loved Andrew Garfield.
I've never watched any of those, so I don't know.
Oh, really?
Not any of his.
To me, he's not the problem with them to me. It's silly villain stuff, which they retconned with Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx was good in this.
He was really good.
Yeah.
And also...
And it's because it's short bursts of Jamie Foxx. It's not an entire movie of Jamie Foxx being Electro.
Yeah, well, of all of them. That's the thing is nobody really took over this movie, which I was kind of concerned about. I thought that, whoever the big bad ends up being, they'll focus on too much and it'll take from the others. Or Peter did have more, obviously, than the other Spider-Man, but it was his story, so it made sense. Like, none of this felt like it was forced or it didn't make sense to the whole plot.
I'd love Thomas Hayden Church back again. That's great.
And I was concerned, and I'm glad for them too, and as well as Lizard, because I thought they were just going to CGI those guys and not give them the... But they did. They actually both got to be back in it, which was nice.
You got to hand it to Andrew Garfield, by the way. He's been having to say he wasn't in this movie for like 2 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is I saw somebody joke that Kevin Feige had stolen his dog and he had to just deny all of them until. But I mean, it was so great. We got a Miles Morales tease in a way too, which was hilarious because where I still love that with, Jamie Foxx being like, I don't know, you were from, Manhattan, you're helping the poor. I thought you'd be black. And he's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, maybe out there in the world. So we get a tease though,
Yeah.
to Miles Morales existing in the,
Yeah.
you know, there's so many things like that now that kind of.
It was a very good. They dropped a lot of cool stuff in there. Now I will say, not too keen on the shoehorning of Venom at the end.
The way they did it, I didn't like.
I don't. Sony can suck it. I don't like those Venom movies.
Have you seen the second
I
one?
have not seen the second one.
Because do you mind if we talk about
Yeah,
it? Because
please.
I've seen it. We were going to get, I was going to dive into that one next just because it's related to Spider-Man.
Let's go.
Yeah, see, and we really didn't give away too much from,
No.
even though, okay, heavy spoilers here, because I do want to talk about one thing.
All the villains are in it, and Spider-Man dies at the end.
Twice. Excuse me. So, I rewatched the Spider-Man, at least the one before I went to see this, just so I'd be kind of.
Yeah.
I noticed that the plot, well, it's not the plot of the whole first one, but there's a smaller, like, underlying plot with him being, like, over in Europe, is that Peter is going to give MJ this necklace and tell her how he feels about her. And it's this Black Dahlia because this MJ is weird.
Right.
And she's a little more,
Right.
you know, which I get.
It's
but
a little more goth or whatever.
yeah. But Black Dahlia because of the murders is the whole joke of the whole thing, which is a funny little joke. But in the final battle, like part of the petals and stuff break off.
Yeah.
And it's like only 2 or 3 petals left. But she tells him that it's better, you know, because it's broken like this. And she wears it.
Right.
And she's actually wearing it in the movie through the whole time.
In the new one?
In the new one, which makes sense.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I am such a nerd that I pick up on small things like
it's
this.
great. Yeah.
It was probably just because I watched it before
just
and it was
watched it. Sure,
so it's
sure.
fresh.
Yeah.
But when everything happens at the end, and I'm just going to say it like that, and then he goes back to the shop, she's still wearing it.
Oh, really?
And that is just one thing I don't get because huge spoiler.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody remembers who Peter Parker is.
Right. That's a whole plot.
That's
here.
the whole
Yeah.
plot at the end.
Yeah.
So she doesn't remember who
But
he
she is still wearing it.
But she's still wearing the.
See, I like that because I bet that's something that will be explained down the road. I'm assuming that everything still exists. It's just memories are gone.
Yeah. No,
Right?
it is. But at the same time, it's just weird to me that if I don't remember who gave me something
understand.
and I have a broken piece of jewelry in front of me, I don't remember why I got it or how. I would assume if I forgot him, I would forget what he meant to me then too.
Yeah.
Why do I still grab it and wear it?
I don't know. But I'm sure there's an explanation.
I will tell you.
Because I can't imagine them dressing her for that thing and going, okay, now this necklace. Oh, wait, this is the thing. Oh, never mind. Go ahead and put it on.
Yeah, unless it was just nobody caught it. But I think you're right.
I think
probably.
it's an extra thing you have to do. Yeah.
Before we get into the actual Venom movie, and we talked about them not shoehorning them in, but shoehorning them in.
Shoehorning. Sure.
Yeah, they shoehorned Venom into this. If you could see it, he was wearing so many different shoes.
$5 to try on my shoes.
But it was humorous, at least in the after credit scene.
Sure.
The whole where Eddie Brock is trying to figure out because he gets pulled into this universe when the spell goes for everybody else.
Obviously, yeah.
Like, so now we know just theoretically how he gets into this one place. Like Venom's there, or I'm sorry. No, he gets sucked back to his world when it's everybody who knows who Spider-Man gets sucked back.
Right.
But there's a little
You think that's what it
symbiote
is?
left. Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah, because he's watching the TV thing and he sees the stuff already happened.
Yeah, so everybody who knows,
Gotcha.
that's from a different dimension. So
By the way, the Captain America shield on Statue of Liberty would have been cool if they had just left it alone.
yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, no, it was really
Is
cool.
that the first time that's been there?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought so too. Okay.
But
Well, everybody loved Cap, didn't they?
yeah.
They did a musical. They're going to put it on the Statue of Liberty. They're going to do all this.
Oh, wait, I missed the musical part.
Hawkeye. It's in Hawkeye.
Oh, yes, yeah, okay. I still need to watch Hawkeye.
Yeah, you need to watch Hawkeye.
I mean, we can talk TV a little bit, but I'm so far behind on TV.
No. You're good. You're good.
But I'll give him some credit on this. So I'll say his name.
I feel so vindicated. I'm like ahead of you. On,
You are,
on
no,
Marvel
dude.
stuff.
I haven't, and I need to because I know that Vincent D'Onofrio is back as
Yeah, you'll be
Kingpin, which I loved. Oh, we didn't even get into this. One of the biggest things that I popped at for the movie was Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock as his lawyer.
Yeah. So I read a thing yesterday, and they said, get ready for Charlie Cox to be everywhere.
Yes,
because he's going to be She-Hulk's lawyer. He's going to be like everybody's lawyer at this point.
Oh,
yeah.
well, I hope we're leaning to, because I love Charlie Cox in the Daredevil show.
Yeah, see, now that's one where you got me. I never watched it.
See, out of all, like, everybody obviously got so excited for the Disney Plus, like, oh, because it's connected to the MCU. I think a lot of people didn't go back and watch the other stuff because they didn't know.
Yeah.
But now that Charlie Cox is in the MCU, and like in the show, they did a whole thing because they get their office for super cheap.
Right.
Because it's right by where all the alien attacks happened in the very first Avengers movie.
Right, sure.
Like, the show acts like it's a part of it, but nothing else did. But my goodness, it was so good. And
he catches the brick and he goes, "How'd you do that? I'm a really good lawyer."
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
but to say that is that I haven't seen Vincent D'Onofrio in Hawkeye. I will tell you this, I'm sure it's scaled back because the Daredevil show was TVMA and we just got the best Kingpin ever in Vincent D'Onofrio.
Really dirty.
Oh, I loved
scummy.
He was just so vicious and just so, like, a guy messed up on something and he beats him to death with a car door.
Very
and
nice.
you think, and you're like, I don't want to mess with Kingpin.
Yeah.
Like, it just does such a great job of it.
Yeah, the Kingpin in Hawkeye is not the same Kingpin I remember, but it is nice to see D'Onofrio play him.
He's so
I hope it leaves that door open
just,
because Kingpin and Daredevil go together like peanut butter and jelly.
And that's the thing. And it is so much better than the movie where, no disrespect to Michael Clark Duncan as an actor who was phenomenal.
Sure.
But that's just not a good Kingpin character that was written.
Not a good movie.
No, it's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Don't worry. If you watch the TV show and you haven't watched it because you're like, oh, I saw the Ben Affleck movie, there is never a scene where it rains and he can see all of a sudden. There's nothing like that. Like, it's not,
you know, when Jennifer Garner is your standout in a movie entitled Daredevil, that you got problems with. Well,
Daredevil. They made an Elektra movie.
I know. Yeah.
I couldn't watch that. Elektra does show up in season 2, but it's different and it's cool. Scott Glenn is in it as his, like, sensei, for lack of a better.
Really?
Dude, it's so good.
Oh, okay. I need to.
If I could recommend anything that's Marvel related to people,
that's the one.
Daredevil.
That's the one we've been talking about watching. Yeah, I don't care about Iron Fist. I don't care about,
Jessica Jones is good. She would be the second one on the list just because
I love her.
Well, yeah, no,
She's
Kristen
great.
Ritter's great, but David Tennant as the Purple Man is really good too.
Oh, really?
As the villain, yeah. But so
you saw her in Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah, she's Jesse's girlfriend, right?
Excellent
yeah, because there's a great. I'm not even gonna say spoiler alert on this one because Walt doesn't save her.
Nah, dude, there's no.
Dude, because
you can't spoil shit that's 15 years old or whatever it is.
I heard somebody. I told somebody something the other day, and they were like, "Spoiler," and I was like, "The movie's been out since the late '80s." I'm not going to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry I ruined the Goonies for you."
You mean the train goes through the tunnel?
Yeah.
What?
It's kind of like at this point, like, oh, he sees dead people and Bruce Willis is dead.
Yeah.
I'm not apologizing for saying that at this point.
I'm going to spoil this 30-year-old movie for you. Hey, the sled is Rosebud.
Mike, I've never seen Citizen Kane.
I don't care.
But thanks. No, all right, so let's move from Spider-Man to Venom.
Yeah.
These other there'll be some we'll just slide through because it's Mike hasn't seen them.
It's all right.
I enjoyed parts of it. It was too comical at times for me, and that's the
my
problem
with it. Yep, that's my problem.
And it wasn't even necessarily with Venom. I get some of the comedy, or I can at least let it slide when I know that they're trying to make him like an anti-hero. Like, I think they're trying to go a Deadpool route. Obviously, it's nowhere near to the comedy, but I think they're trying to make you like Venom and not be like, oh, this is just a murderous alien symbiote, which is kind of what
they're like, this one has a heart of gold, but Carnage doesn't.
Yeah, and that's fine, but I wasn't scared of Carnage.
No.
And that was the biggest problem.
It's Woody Harrelson.
As a kid. Well, but
are you talking about
Natural Born Killers? Woody Harrelson was fine.
That's different. He has people's heads on a pike.
Yeah, but Cletus Cassidy, Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Not so much, no.
No. It's just the and I know he can do it and he can make it work. So obviously I just put it with the script. It's just they made it a love story too.
Right.
And it's this whole
is the
time.
second one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put another character in.
We got it. We just haven't watched it.
But like the whole Woody Harrelson is trying to escape prison to go find this lost love of his. Yeah. And apparently that's why he's been so evil to begin with, is because he's trying to. And when you add that to it, to me, it kills the character some.
In the commercial, when I see Venom at a rave with a bunch of glow sticks in his hand, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not Venom. Plus, we're still kind of like, oh, this thing came from space. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
There's no backstory.
No.
None. You can't just show the boogeyman and not have a backstory.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
It was like it dripping on Tobey Maguire's bike in freaking Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. No. I think I saw on Rotten Tomatoes that it was like a 60 or something. Yeah. I'd kind of put it there. It's just in the middle. It's not Venom, great. It's okay.
You know, you remember this. Venom took over Spider-Man for a long time.
Yes.
And it was a great idea and it was a great series, and then Carnage and all that stuff. But this ain't it.
No, and it was so different from what I grew up reading. Mm-hmm. And then even like the cartoons and stuff that they had him in and stuff that were just so...
Venom's a bad guy, guys. Yeah. I mean, that's just the way it is. Venom's bad. He's evil.
You know.
Scary alien.
That's okay. Now they got coming up in 2022 Morbius, which... Oh. I'm kind of done with Jared Leto.
Well, that's kind of... It again is one of those movies that doesn't give... the only thing it does is call Spider-Man a murderer, which we're over that at this point.
Yeah.
Because that was 2 movies ago. Yeah. But this falls prey to that COVID thing where this movie was produced 2.5, 3 years ago, and we're just now getting it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I'm ready for that glut of movies to be over.
Yeah.
But this one is not one that I'm excited about at all.
I'm not at all either. And it's not even necessarily like, I don't want to put it all on just Leto, but like the script itself, like none of it.
It can't be
and
great.
To be honest, Morbius as a character just never.
I was like, never interested.
No, I know a little bit about him, but that's about it. Like I am more into like Craven.
It feels like Morbius is being brought just so we can have Blade.
But we've already had Blade.
But you understand what I'm saying. I mean, they're bringing a new Blade. They're making a new Blade movie. And so that to me is just, this is the way you get to Blade.
Why do we need another Blade movie?
We don't.
I'm not like, again, we've had 4 of them. Mm-hmm. 4 Blade movies. Mm-hmm.
It's a new Blade.
2 are good. Mm-hmm. 1 has a lot of problems, but because of those problems, I go back and I watch it and I enjoy it, just knowing what's going on. Right. And plus, Ryan Reynolds is great in it because it's Ryan Reynolds.
Sure.
And then we have a 4th one where a rapper played Blade, Sticky Fingers, which I have not watched.
Sticky Fingers, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's part of Onyx. You remember?
Oh, sure. I was a big Onyx fan.
Back in the 90s?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But my point is, this just seems then like a ploy to, we'll set this up so we can make more money.
Absolutely.
And it's not
That's what these Sony movies are. They have no continuity.
And that's what bugs me though, is because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and I'm a huge, like, for lack of a better term, Spider Family fan of all the other characters. Well, I don't like Morbius. I do like Black Cat and Felicia Hardy, and I think they're going to find a way to ruin that. I loved Venom, and it was the first one was okay. Second one's okay. I at least see what they're doing with Venom and what they're trying to do, so I can understand that. Villains haven't been that great.
It does kind of feel like MCU could easily slip into the DCU territory.
Well,
they could really screw things up if they're not. Movies. I know. But what I'm saying is they're making a deal with the devil, basically, with Sony. And if they don't watch it, Marvel movies will end up being these one-offs, which is what all the Sony movies were, and that's our problem with them. Yeah. Because they don't exist in a universe. You know, I mean, Eddie Brock was the only thing in the world. There wasn't any other superheroes.
That's
right?
true.
He was it.
Yeah, that is
right?
true. Yeah.
And that's just short-sighted and ridiculous because that's not a comic book movie.
Yeah, no. And I mean, like, honestly, if I wanted to get super nerdy about it, let's remember that in the comics that Eddie starts out in San Francisco there because he and Peter both work at the Daily Bugle.
Right.
And then they have their big deal, Spider-Man versus Venom, that lasts for a while. And then at the end of it, after Spider-Man is able to, you know, kind of like get to Eddie and tell him, like, you know, and help him. And then, because even in the comics, he does turn into like this anti-hero, which I get, and that's fine.
Sure.
But Eddie decides to go to San Francisco then to be away to fight crime kind of on the other part of the, you know, map and to get away from Spider-Man.
They start in New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he winds up in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Well, we've started, Eddie Brock's already in San Francisco.
Right.
Like, we've already taken away with these Sony movies that he even knows Peter Parker. And the reason we do that is because it was a Sony movie and not a Marvel movie.
By the way, the villain in the first Venom movie is garbage. He's terrible. He's not, he doesn't frighten me. He doesn't seem creepy enough. He doesn't seem like a villain. He's a kid. He's like this 30-year-old guy that started SpaceX or whatever. He's not even bald. Make him bald or something.
Basically, you know? Elon Musk is the villain in the first Venom movie.
But he's not even as scary as Elon Musk.
Well, no.
I would say Elon Musk is much scarier.
The actor is also in, what was that? Pushing Metal? I can't remember. It's like a drummer who was, he's a good actor. It's just, again, with these movies, I think it's just character and the way they're written.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying the character's bad. I'm not saying the actor's bad. I'm saying that character is bad.
No, it's awful. Yeah, no, it was nothing.
The girl from Parks and Rec, the spoiled one, is like works in the lab. You know, the one that goes, money, please.
Oh,
that one,
yeah.
I mean, she's, I
forgot about that.
I can't take her serious. I mean, you know, it's just this whole thing.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Money, please.
What else? Let's see. What else happened in 2021 that we can cover that I saw before we move on? I know I pulled up a list.
What other superhero stuff happened?
Yeah.
All right. So we had Loki, which was fantastic.
Yes.
Great series. We had
haven't watched it.
All right. We had WandaVision, which was excellent.
I've seen a episode.
Yeah.
You
need to watch that through. We had what's the other one?
We had Captain.
We had
Captain Soldier and Winter America.
Captain Soldier and America Man.
Yeah.
That was okay. I didn't like that one as much as I liked the other two. And now we've had Hawkeye. So I mean, those are very big entries for the year.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, you get 4 new series out of a year. You're doing something.
Yeah, and let's just to throw some other ones in there that I think you saw too of some superhero shows that happened, because we don't want to stick with just Marvel, but Jupiter Ascending was one that came out.
Yeah, and I was really enjoying that, and then they canceled it.
It's already been canceled?
Yeah, they canceled it.
Invincible or what? The animated one I haven't watched yet.
Yeah.
Did The Boys season 2 come out this year or last year?
I believe it came out last year. Boys season 3 comes out this year.
Okay. Well, when you say last year, 2021 or 2020?
2020, I believe.
2020.
Yeah,
okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Because I was going to talk about The Boys season 2 because that was awesome.
The Boys in general is just great.
It's a great show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so stoked for season 3.
Yeah.
So then never mind. I don't get to just wax poetically about that.
Well, what I'm saying is I want The Boys just to get even grosser and dirtier and grimier.
There was a guy that was choked out by another dude's dick.
Yep.
Like it grew and wrapped around his throat.
Yep.
That's The Boys.
It's just good though, man.
It is. Aside from it has just absurd comedy in it.
Yep.
It has gripping storylines though, and it's all well acted.
Some
and it's all like there's some of the storylines where you're like, oh, like it hits you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it has everything.
Like Homelander could literally enslave the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I love it because it's like a look at, hey, there is Superman in this world, but unlike Clark Kent, to where
he doesn't let things slide.
No, like Clark Kent is the perfect, and one of the things, and I'll say this, and it's something I've always said about Superman. I don't like Superman as a character just because I think he's so overpowered. It's the same with Wolverine. Actually, I dislike Wolverine more, but all these overpowered characters that people just kind of flock to. The one thing I will say though, that where I will cut Superman slack, and I don't necessarily, he's not in my characters I hate because of this,
The underwear.
is because out of everybody, Bruce Wayne, Peter Parker, all these people, they decided to fight crime because criminals killed my parents.
Yeah, it's
criminals
true.
killed
Yeah.
my uncles. You know, oh,
Superman.
something happened to me. Superman is deciding to protect it. Like, he knows he's different.
Yeah.
And puts it upon himself to protect the people of Earth and to do right.
Right.
Like that is something that I don't think
That's different.
Yeah, that I can take,
absolutely.
and because of that, I will at least always respect the character of Superman.
Right.
I don't necessarily like it, but I'm never going to badmouth Superman because of it.
Yeah.
But so,
Well, he'd beat your ass.
well, that too. But The Boys is, like you said, if all that good about him was gone.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing good about Homelander.
No, and one of my favorite scene, there's two of them. One is where the guy who is fast as lightning or whatever goes through that lady.
Oh, the very first A-Train?
Oh, so good. And then when Homelander, and I think this is season 2, when he and the girl are up, the Nazi girl are up on the stage and all those people are out there, and he sees it two ways. He sees it as the crowd, or he sees it as him just killing everybody that's standing there. That to me was like, that's Superman. Superman has to have those flashes every once in a while. He's like, you know what? Screw this. Let's just kill everybody.
But Superman is a lawful good, so eventually he comes back to, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I get it. Sure.
No,
Homelander's a regular guy with too much power, like roid rage.
Yeah, and the music in there is great. Like everything.
It's just well made.
Yeah.
Really well made.
We here at Bros, Foes, and Heroes recommend The Boys if you have not seen it.
I give it a super thumbs up.
I give it 2 super thumbs up.
Wow.
Because
that's never happened, folks.
well then should I just give it 1?
No, that's
I'm not at, what if something's
man.
better than this? I'm never gonna be able to come back.
Then you give it 3.
But I don't have
It's a
3
sliding
thumbs.
scale. Oh, well, that's true. You give it 2 thumbs and a big toe.
Can I give it your thumbs too?
You can. I
give
will
it
loan
3
you my thumbs.
2 of mine and 1 of Mike's.
Sure. There we go.
Let's just quickly go over then some of the other movies. I didn't see all of these.
Yeah.
You might have, so chime in if you want to.
The one I did not see was Eternals.
Okay,
Haven't
I didn't
seen
see that one
yet.
either.
Comes out like next week on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and I'll probably watch it then.
Yeah, I will.
I do know that they reference Batman and Superman, which is kind of weird for it to be in a Marvel movie.
Really?
But yeah.
Okay.
So neither of us have seen the Eternals.
God,
what about Black Widow? Did you see Black
If
Widow?
they had a crossover of some kind.
And do you remember the early 90s though when they had some of those crossovers? Some of them were good. Some of them were
comics?
terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Yes.
Batman and Spiderman's cool, but I don't want to see like, Hulk and
What about Spawn and Batman? That was something.
oh, that was good. One of my favorite, there is one of my favorite, and I feel like I've talked about it before with Spawn, pictures from one of the comics. And there's a scene of where like all these superheroes are like in cages, but you just see the cages. You don't see what's in. You just see hands reaching out, and you can tell by the gloves that it's all
Who it
these
is.
characters that either Todd McFarlane had worked with before,
Yeah.
or just it's a Batman, Spider-Man, and they're all reaching a Spawn for help. And and he's like refusing to help them, and it's just such a great visual for somebody like Todd McFarlane who had to put up with so much to try to go out and push his own stuff. But the Spawn Batman stuff was really good.
It is such a shame that in the world we live in now, which is superhero crazy, that Spawn hasn't already taken over. I mean,
well,
I know they're making one. I get it.
And Todd McFarlane's behind it.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of somebody we've talked about
that
before,
original movie sucks.
It did. And the thing is, it's like Michael Jai White follows me on Twitter, so that's cool. That's the guy who played Spawn, in case you were curious.
Sure.
So me and Michael Jai White are friends.
Yeah.
He's also in
virtual friends.
Yeah, we're virtual friends. He's also plays Gamble in the second Christopher Nolan Batman.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah,
he's the thug there
Sure.
and some of his stories about Heath Ledger and stuff in that time are really cool too.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. It's not a good movie.
No, it's not.
John Leguizamo, I feel, is a lot better now than he was back then.
John Leguizamo as the clown.
Him as the Violator was not that. The whole movie as a whole just wasn't that
It
great.
should have been Danny DeVito. That's all there is to it. Period.
But they're working
end.
on a new one, and the rumors that I had heard, and this has been a while back, so it might have changed, is Jamie Foxx is going to play Al Simmons. But I don't know anything else about it. But Spawn, that is one of...
It already scares me.
Well, then it's doing its job, right? Um, But that is one where the animated show is actually really good too.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never
The
watched
cartoon,
the
it was strictly for adults. It's adult animation.
How many more of those Chris Rock Saw movies you think we'll get?
I don't know. Did you watch?
No, I did not. I'm not watching that. Come
Well, I
on.
didn't know. Like you said it like it was. I was like, oh.
Well,
maybe I need to
we
go
were
check it
just
out.
talking about franchises and stuff, and then that one hit me, and I was like,
So
I did not understand that crossover.
So this was a list of the top live action superhero movies.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go. I'm skipping the ones we haven't talked.
Sure. Let's do it.
So we
You're
talked about
skipping
Venom.
the ones we haven't talked about?
Sorry, I'm skipping the ones we have talked
Okay.
about.
All right.
We talked about Venom, Black Widow. Did you see Black
I
Widow?
did see Black Widow. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see it.
Characters are great. David, whatever his name
Harbour?
is. Yeah, he's fan-friggin-tastic.
Okay,
Her sister is very good in it.
I have a crush on Florence Pugh. But that's
Yeah, the story is it's fine.
okay.
You know, it's kind of like if you watch Ant-Man, the story is fine.
Okay,
But Paul Rudd's so good in it,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
everybody else is so good in it. You're like, yeah, it was a good movie. You know, that kind of thing.
see, I'm just going to
Sure.
revert to you when I haven't
Let's go.
seen it. So then Eternals, neither of us has seen.
No.
Number 4 on this list, which when we see what comes later, I think is very low. Suicide Squad, which we talked about, we both loved.
Loved it. Yeah, absolutely.
And the trailers for Peacemaker look great.
Goodness, yes, I'm very excited.
That
for
comes out on the
Peacemaker.
13th, and I'm looking forward to watching that. I'll probably
Eternals
binge
on
that.
the 12th, and then Peacemaker on the 13th. Yep.
See, oh man, it looks great. So that's something to look forward to,
Yeah.
media-wise. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Again, very good acting. Well done movie. Story, it's okay. When you start looking at how it's tied to everything else, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I did not realize that was basically the big bad from Iron Man 1
Oh yeah.
until I went back and I saw some of those clips and stuff.
You mean Iron Man 3?
Is it 3?
Yeah.
Okay, 3. Well, it's 1 also because the people that put him in the cave are part of that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Because they do the video with the 10 ring flag behind him.
You're right.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay.
Freaked me out when I saw that. I was like, holy crap, they've been planning this?
Yeah.
You know?
I was thinking of though.
But yes.
Ben Kingsley, which by the way,
he's so good.
Ben Kingsley. How come he hasn't done more comedy? Because he is hilarious.
Have you seen the little short, Hail to the King?
No.
You need to watch that.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. It's just like a 10-minute little thing, but it plays a part in some of the stuff that's coming up. I'm telling you, watch it. It's so weird because you're like, oh wait, okay, so that's gonna happen, you know. And then we were watching something the other day, and they did a flashback, you know, where they tell you all the stuff that's happened to lead up to this thing, and part of that was included.
Okay.
I was like, well, how am I supposed to know to watch all the little pieces? But anyway, it was, Ben Kingsley's fantastic.
Oh no, he's great, and I loved him as, I think his name's Trevor. He was playing the and I'm gonna forget the name of it. It was a giant dragon in the comics. What is his name? Not the. I keep wanting to call him the Mandalorian, but that's not it. It starts with an M though.
Well, he is the Mandalorian. No, not Mandalorian. He's the Magellan.
The Magellan.
No,
He's gelling like a felon.
he's the
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's right there.
Isn't it like the name of a Chinese food dish?
I think so. Well, no, it's not. Man, I'm going to have to look this up real quick. The next one, though, and it's the last one on our list we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
It was number 2 on the list. Zack Snyder's Justice League cut.
Yeah,
You really did not like it,
No,
did
I
you?
hated it. Yeah, I thought it was terrible. Zack Snyder can suck it. What? Okay. All right. Here we go. Here's my Zack Snyder moment. Right?
You haven't had one in a while.
Why is he allowed to make Rebel Moon?
Who?
Rebel Moon. Why is he allowed to make this movie?
What one is Rebel Moon again?
Rebel Moon is his Star Wars movie that he wanted to make. That the Star Wars people said, no, we're not letting you make that. And so Netflix said, come make it for us. So it's a Star Wars story without Star Wars people in it.
But it's not related to Star Wars.
Right. Why is that happening? Why is that a thing? Why can't George Lucas go take him out of his shins or whatever? Yeah, the Mandarin. Mandarin Orange. Sure, there we go. Yeah, that's what I was
Mandarin.
thinking. Yeah, he's the Mandarin. He's fantastic.
Oh man!
And you know what? Great casting. Who was the guy? The wrestler. He played in the movie The Wrestler. Got the big lips.
Mickey Rourke.
Yes, fantastic with the electric whips. Just saying.
And Iron Man 2?
Yeah.
See, Justin Hammer to me.
I put all of those together.
I always feel bad for Sam Rockwell because he's such a good actor.
Sure.
And he's just overlooked in so many things.
He is, yeah.
But like his Justin Hammer was good in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
It's in also another movie that if you haven't seen, it's an old movie, but Galaxy Quest. If you can get over Tim Allen.
Yeah,
which he's good in this movie.
Galaxy Quest is one of my all-time favorites.
Dude, it's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
But Sam Rockwell's great as
yes, as the red shirt, basically.
As Guy.
Yeah.
Because I think is what he that whole movie.
It's excellent. You know, they were talking about doing one.
A new one?
Yeah. But I don't know if Tim Allen.
I don't want to do it without Alan Rickman though.
Yeah, I know.
By Grabthar's hammer. And I just love how he just snatches it. Dude, the whole movie is so good.
I just love it when they're at the Comic-Con. By Grabthar's hammer.
And he doesn't even let him.
Just so pissed off.
Or no, even at the what is it the computer place or the mattress store? By Grabthar's hammer.
These savings are.
What a savings. Yeah. Dude, it's so great.
It's
them leaving out of the pod bay and it just
that one and Starship Troopers, anytime it's on, I'll watch those for the most part.
I need to go back and watch Starship Troopers. It's been a while.
Starship Troopers to me is RoboCop with a budget. You know, same guy, Vanderhooven.
Yeah, you didn't like RoboCop?
Oh, I loved RoboCop.
Oh, okay,
Love it. But think about when it came out and some of the crappy like stop motion stuff they had to use and things like that. If you go to Starship Troopers, well, shoot, they had the budget at this point, and so all the bugs are CGI and stuff.
Well, we talked about because we watched the movies that we loved or whatever show that it's on.
Right.
That they were shooting in Dallas.
Yes.
And there's that giant like convenience store explosion or gas station explosion.
Yeah.
They hadn't ran it all by through the city. And so it like broke people's like windows like blocks away.
Yeah. That
Dallas basically asked them to take RoboCop to get up and move out. And it has changed the filming laws in the state of Texas because of that movie too.
That's nuts.
But so yeah, we talked about all those movies. I'm going to do this as a tease to next week's episode.
Let's do it.
We're going to do something a little I'm going to say serious, but it's just a review, but there's a reason why I'm doing this next.
Okay.
And it only fits that we're talking about media and looking ahead to 2022 when I tease this. We are a little less than 2 months away from the release of the new Batman movie, which I know that a lot of people don't care about. I am stoked.
I am very excited. Yeah.
And Mike and I are both excited for it. Everybody else I talk to seems to be like, oh, the vampire from let's just cut it away. Don't care.
Nope.
It's the same way when everybody was like, oh, the guy from A Knight's Tale is going to play Joker. And then now everybody will tell you that Heath Ledger is the best Joker ever. I'm not saying it's going to be the same. My point is, don't write it off till after you see it. If it comes out and he sucks, go ahead at it.
Sure.
But I've read multiple places that this is like a year 2 story for Batman.
Yeah. I've heard it's almost a horror movie.
Yeah, and it's like 3 hours long almost, and it sounds fantastic to me. But
Zack Snyder wasn't anywhere around.
No, it's all Matt Reeves. Yep. But that it's a year 2 story. Well, there's a very famous comic book that Matt Reeves has read for this before. That's Batman Year 1. That obviously should set up how the character is.
Right.
And for Christmas, I actually received Batman Year 1.
Oh, very nice.
So I think next week's episode, we will just do Batman Year 1.
Let's do it. I know very little about it.
Yeah, so we'll just dive into, it's a comic book based around the first year of Bruce Wayne as a crime fighter.
Right.
So let's dive into this, and maybe it'll also help us kind of know what we're looking at.
Sounds good.
Heading into the Batman movie. So next week, we will do Batman Year 1 here on Bros, Foes, and Heroes.
So
go ahead.
Can we do something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Those top 5, can we give them a rating?
Okay, yeah. Well,
let's give them a rating.
Here, it's 7.
Okay.
They did these by 7 for some reason, and I'll even give the website credit because
please do.
We like to do that. This is from CBR.com.
CBR.
And this article is written by Ethan Cross 2 days ago. Thank you, Ethan, for this list for us to use.
Yep.
Number 7 on his list was Venom.
Venom. I'm giving that a 3 out of 5.
Oh, we're going to go out of 5?
I'm going to do out of 5. Let's say 3 out of 5.
I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay. I'm with you on that. The only reason I say 3 is because the production was nice. I mean, they did a good job.
Black Widow.
Black Widow, I think, is a 4 out of 5. Maybe, 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not voting on the ones I didn't see.
Yeah, you didn't
I
see
may
it,
know.
sure.
Neither of us saw Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Squad.
5.
5.
Maybe 6.
I loved Suicide Squad.
It's very good.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I'll
4.
give a 4.5.
I'm going to give it a 4. Yeah.
I thought, well, even like we talked about, it's really great acted. The story's really good, but the visual, it's a gorgeous
it's
movie
beautiful.
to watch
yeah,
too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's very different from any other Marvel movie.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's Justice League cut.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything under 0?
I guess you could give it negative.
I'm going to give it a 1. I'll give it a 1.
I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a 2.5. And the reason I say that is just because the half is
Just threw up my mouth.
by releasing it all at once, though.
Yeah.
All 4 hours, there were problems that I had with the original cut, the Whedon cut, because it seemed like there wasn't an explanation why things happen.
Yeah.
Just because it's longer, I got explanation. I'll give him a half star just because I'm a little less confused.
Martian Manhunter. That's all I got to say.
And then Spider-Man No Way Home.
I give it a 5.
I give it a 5. It's one of those, I could give it a 6 too. I loved it.
Absolutely.
It was so good.
I don't know that I give it a higher rating than Suicide Squad.
Really?
Yeah, I think Suicide Squad was better.
I think,
which is weird for a DC movie.
I think Spider-Man is higher just because of how I feel about the character.
That's true.
And I look at them as 2 different kinds of movies.
Yeah. They're very different.
Yeah. Suicide Squad falls more into like the Deadpool range. And I think it fits perfectly in that, where it's just as funny as those Deadpool movies and stuff. Same with like the clips again that they've shown, the trailers for Peacemaker and stuff that have come out. They look fantastic.
Peacemaker's a game changer.
So there you go. We've told you basically which ones, if you haven't seen, to go watch. It looks like we approve basically everything but Zack Snyder and Venom. Oh, and we didn't see the Eternals, so that could be good.
I'm going to go ahead and give that a 3.
I'm going to give that a 3 as well.
Haven't seen it. I'm going to give it a 3.
I haven't seen it, but I'm going to at least say that it's at least a 60.
Love the commercials.
Oh yeah, the cast looks great. I love Camille Nanjiani, so he's in it.
Harry Styles.
Yeah. But at first I thought that was random, and then I had to go back. He was in Dunkirk.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, like he's not awful, but it would just seemed weird at the time when it was like, hey, it's kind of like, maybe I'm using this as a bad example. I'm trying to think of okay, fine. Well, no, he's nowhere near as popular. I was gonna say, what if they were like Chris Christopherson? He's not as popular, but he's decent as an actor.
I'm literally watching Zach change his mind as he talks.
I was trying to find a way to make it work, and I couldn't.
So, absolute last thing.
Yeah.
Got a little excited yesterday when I read something about Quantum Mania coming up, the Ant-Man Wasp movie.
Oh, yes.
Bill Murray is in it.
As what?
As a Hulk variant. Yeah. How about that, huh? What a great idea.
I'm here for that. I'm so here for that.
I just hope he's red, and he's not big or something. I don't know.
He's probably going to be in for just 30 seconds.
That's it. That's all I need. 30 seconds of Bill Murray as a Hulk variant. That's great. The only thing better than that is Bill Murray destroying the Garfield set at the end of what movie was that?
The second Zombieland?
Yeah, Zombieland 2.
I haven't seen the second Zombieland, but the first
movie's not fantastic. It's okay, but you love the characters.
Yeah.
And then that ending, it's like an extra scene or whatever with Bill Murray at the Garfield convention. Well, that's the thing.
He's the best. He's the best part of the first one. Yeah. Where they're like, do you have any regrets? No.
Maybe Garfield.
Garfield. Dude, that thing is just so...
Yeah, great movie.
Okay, that's exciting news. I love that, man.
Bill Murray as a Hulk variant. Yeah, how weird, huh? And by the way, I'm a little psyched about She-Hulk, too.
I am, too. Well, I love the actress that they have playing her, because Black Orphan was a really good show.
Ms. Marvel, what do you think? It scares me we're getting into so many teenagers.
See, that's the thing is there's a lot of Marvel shows out there that I don't watch.
Yeah.
Not because I don't think that they're bad. It's just because they don't follow canon. Like I can't well no, not even that, but I can't relate to it. Like Cloak and Dagger was made for
that's a Netflix
teenagers.
thing,
Or Hulu, I think it is. But it was made for, I feel like, that teenage age group. I'm sure it's a great show, but it's just not what I like to watch kind of thing.
Sure.
So I don't know about Miss Marvel, if it's going to be one of those that can reach across demographics, but I'll wait and see.
Here's what confuses me about it. Is it Miss Marvel? No, it's Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
MS. MS is for someone who's been divorced.
Was it? I thought MS also worked as like for everybody.
I don't think so. I think it's only like women that have been divorced or women that are even maybe their spouse died.
Serial killers? Oh.
No. Yeah.
I didn't know what you were
I don't know.
For.
It's something like that. I just thought.
I'm flashing back to 8th grade and I'm just getting petrified, so I'm not going to stay there. I'm just going to come back to here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Ms. Marvel.
I'll give it a chance.
I'll give it a hell of a chance. I just don't know.
No, I'm with you. I think we also don't we get the Lord of the Rings show this year too?
We get a
or is that next year?
I don't know about Lord of the Rings. See, that's another one I've never seen.
See, I don't
all the way through.
I had somebody, funny enough, my brother of all people, text me the other day, tell me that I never knew that we can't be friends anymore. It's because he'd listened to one of our episodes.
Oh, really?
And I had gone on about how I don't like the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
They're not bad. It's just not something I've ever gotten into.
Yeah, my wife almost left me over it.
I'm sorry. Well, obviously she didn't, so that's good.
No, she didn't. No.
All right.
She just calls me stupid.
Well, we can get used to that.
Oh, I'm good with it. I am stupid.
This has been Bros, Foes, and Heroes. You can catch us on Instagram, Bros, Foes, Heroes. Email us, brosfoesandheroes@gmail.com. Also, you can find Rogue Media there on Insta as well.
Rogue Media Network. Absolutely. Or you can catch us at roguemedianetwork.com.
A lot of great stuff being put out there weekly. I just go through the Insta and just constantly have stuff to listen to all week long. No, it's not. There's a lot of great content out there. Make sure to plug our podcast brethren and sister. Is it sisterin?
Sisterin.
Or is it just brethren and sisters?
Sistrunk.
I don't know. Sounds like a last name though. But so there you go. That was this.
I actually have a couple of things I'd like to plug.
Oh, if please. You're okay with it. I am totally fine with that. Please go ahead.
If you're still in the holiday spirit, there is something on Rogue Media Network called Holiday Stories. It is me just reading Thanksgiving and Christmas stories.
See, I love that.
Then there's a new one called Story Dog, where I just read kids' stories. Right? They're like 5-10 minutes long.
Which is another great one. I actually have a couple episodes on my phone.
And then I now do 2 other shows. One is called Wake the Kids, Phone the Neighbors. It's all about David Letterman.
Okay.
And the first
we talked about that.
First episode came out this last week. Second episode will be this week. And then we've started a new one called Bah. It's a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. So we go episode by episode.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
And it makes me so happy because I know some of the episodes you're about to get into. There's the one with Willie Nelson getting hit by the golf club.
Absolutely.
And I know these because I watched them recently and I started in season 1. And Hank's problem with being constipated.
Yes.
And both of those episodes are hilarious.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure they're both before like the halfway point of the first
Oh,
season.
yeah. So, they're pretty early.
Oh, those are some great episodes that are going to be hilarious. So there you go.
You go.
Man, you're a busy man.
I'm trying real hard.
See,
America's falling in love with my voice.
We are a show about superheroes, but the only superhero we have on this team is Mike.
Oh, God. Bye, guys.
We'll see you. Try to say one nice thing. All right, that's it. Until next week. Oh, we're going to talk about Batman Year 1 next week.
Year 1.
But until then, everybody stay safe. Have a good one.
Got it, gun.
Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.